All right, welcome back to Student of the Gun Radio. I am your host, Professor Paul Markle, and sitting over there filling his mouth with chicken breast and broccoli is the weight-cutting Jared, who is not going to talk right now because he's chewing on a chicken breast, but the reason he's doing that, if you are a fan of Student of the Gun, you know that he's weight-cutting. He's weight-cutting all week with water, chicken, and broccoli, not chicken and waffles, because that would be too darn tasty, and you'd have to put syrup on it and stuff like that. And not fried chicken. Jared, did you go ahead and drink your water, and then I'm going to ask you if you saw this. There was I guess it was one of our grad program people said, it's a little thing that says, your shirt says UFC, but your body says KFC.
Yeah, I saw that with a Kermit the Frog thing.
But that's none of my business. All right, welcome to Thursday's episode of the show. Hope you've enjoyed the weeks thus far. If you have not enjoyed the week up to this point, if you've not enjoyed the free version of Student of the Gun Radio that you're getting, I want you to go ahead and take a self-addressed stamped envelope and mail it to P.O. Box 405, Boulder, Colorado, and request a full 100% refund of all the money that you spent on this week's show.
Oh, I was just going to tell him to take a knee and drink some water.
Take a knee and drink some water.
Yeah.
I like that. Go ahead and take a knee and drink some water. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. We're going to have some fun stuff. We're going to have some serious stuff. We're going to go north of the border, and we're going to get in our little time machine. This is where it pays for you to pay attention to Student of the Gun. This is where it pays for you to have your thinking caps on and to listen louder. Not everybody's listening loud enough, but I appreciate the fact that a lot of you are trying to do that. And it's a little history lesson that goes all the way back to episode 118. What are we on now, Jared? What does the show notes say?
227.
No.
229.
229. All right, yeah. This is episode 229, and the reference for this show goes all the way back to 118. So you're like, wow, that was a while ago, huh? Now, episode 100 was the first week of January, wasn't it? 2015? I'm pretty sure it was. Because we were on episode 100 at the exact same time as Talking Lead was on episode 100, and we were visiting with each other. When all of us were together in Camden, we were talking about the upcoming special episode number 100. Uh-huh. Okay, yeah. So this goes back not a year, not a full year yet, but several months. So, all right, folks, let's see. Before we get into the serious stuff, before we even get into the fun stuff, too, we want to take a moment to thank our sponsors because, quite frankly, Jared and I could not get in the studio every single day and do this. We couldn't get in here and record on our super cool black carbon steel microphones with the nice pop filters without the support of our friends. And our friends at Brownells.com. If you own a gun, Brownells has got something for you. And you know what you can get at Brownells.com? I've told you before, but I'm going to tell you again because it's a good thing. Duracoat's new can-in-can technology. We've got a lot of photos on our social media, and I've already told you that, but just in case it's the first time you're listening, and you say, I don't have a gun that I want to Duracoat. It's okay. You can Duracoat anything you want. You're an American. You can Duracoat your mailbox. You can Duracoat your laptop case. You can Duracoat, I don't care. And you know what's really very interesting? If you're looking for ideas or if you want to be jealous, go to Duracoat's Facebook page, and there are people all over this great land that are super inspired, and they're doing some really good Duracoat projects. I saw a guy did a Detroit Tigers pistol where they did, if you guys are Northern Yankee type people and you know what the Tigers logo looks like, not the ferocious one, but kind of the cartoony tiger with the bat and the baseball uniform on. Being somebody who was born in Detroit, I'm very familiar with that. Anyway, a dude Duracoated that onto a pistol. It looked really cool. Jared, did you see the guy that did the headphones with like the mouth and the teeth and the tongue sticking out. Yeah. Anyway, so go to Duracoat's Facebook page and just check it out. You might get motivated. You'll be like, Or you can just buy one color and refinish your gun and call it good. You can do that too. You can get it from Lauer Custom Weaponry, or you can go to brownells.com and just type in the word Duracoat and order it from them. Crossbreed Holsters, they will assist and allow you to tote a gun like most of you should be doing. Not all of you should be toting a gun, but most of you probably should be. And most of you probably are not doing it as often as you should. Admit it, you're not, because what you did is you went to the store and you bought whatever holster was on sale, and then you put it on, and you had it on for 2 hours, and you started shifting and tugging at it and moving it forward and moving it backwards, and it got a hot spot. And so what did you do? You started taking your gun off and leaving it in the desk drawer, or putting it on the bedside table, or stashing it in your freaking glove compartment. It doesn't do you any good stashed in a glove compartment somewhere. It doesn't do you any good locked in a gun safe somewhere, unless you already have another one on you. So if you want to carry a gun, if you're serious about it, if you're really serious about it, if you're not one of these carry my gun, open carry to Starbucks in a nylon Taiwanese open top holster, but if you're serious, go to crossbreedholsters.com. Jared, do you want to? Are you ready to talk about to go north of the border? We had did we have a north of the border earlier this week?
Earlier this week.
Oh man, so it's kind of like a double treat for you guys.
Don't wanna be a Canadian idiot. Don't wanna be some bear swell and hockey nut. And do I look like some frostbitten hose head? I never learned my...
I'd like to think that without actually consciously doing it, that Weird Al is a supporter of Student of the Gun. Although I'm afraid, see, I like Weird Al, and I have for a long, long time. That was Canadian Idiot by Al Yankovic. Since I was a teenager, I discovered Al Yankovic when I was living in Detroit in like '83, when he did Another One Rides the Bus in My Bologna. Another one rides the bus. Yeah, exactly. But now he lives in California, and he's surrounded by hippies and liberals and douchebags, but we still think he's a good guy. Canadian.
He has not conformed to the word change, where he did that song Word Crimes.
Yeah, Word
He still uses the English language correctly.
He does.
So.
Yeah, Al Yankovic is a smart MFer. He is. If you know anything about him, and we're not talking about Al Yankovic, he doesn't need, I'm not his press agent, but he actually graduated from high school, or not high school. I think he actually graduated from high school early, then college early. And he was going to be like an engineer, an architect, or something like that. Seriously. Smart dude.
Then he's like, I
very, very cerebral.
Songs.
That's a weird thing about most people have, like, they either have left brain, right brain, where they have their super creative side, but not so much their analytical side. He's a guy that seems to use both sides of his brain. I know, it's crazy, right? People and all of you guys who went to public school in the last 20 years are like, what is he talking about? Right brain, left brain? I don't know.
I have a left brain.
I don't get
Her name
that.
is Alex.
Your left brain keeps you on track. All right, so we're going to go ahead and no more Al Yankovic talk. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get into our See, I Told You So, or Are You Kidding Me, or didn't we already put this behind us? Didn't we already put this bad idea behind us? Apparently, we have not put this bad idea behind us yet. And for all of you dedicated students of the gun, the alternative is back in the news. And you're like, what? Come on. There's no way that anyone is seriously considering the alternative. I mean, I can see the idiots in the media that don't know anything about deadly force or use of force encounters. But people who actually went to school and were trained and whose job it is to understand deadly force encounters, whose job it is to understand justifiable use of force, that whole, ability, opportunity, intent, all that jazz.
Speaking of opportunity, can I go refill my veggies?
You want to go refill your veggies?
Yeah, can I do that?
Not until we play this thing.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, he's on his. He's like a woman. He's got the time diet thing. He has to eat every so often. But so here's the dealio, and thank you to whichever one of our, I think it was Bill, who forwarded this story to us, because I was doing the show notes. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. All right, the alternative. Here's what I'm going to do. Way back in episode 118, we discussed this thing called the alternative. How long's that clip, Jared?
I don't know.
About a minute or so?
A minute, maybe.
All right, this is me. This is your dear host, Professor Paul, back on episode 118, talking about a device called the alternative.
That is the problem, Jared. We've spoiled the American populace into thinking that we have this zero defect or zero error issue with deadly force situations where, well, he only had a knife, so you shouldn't shoot him. You should just taser him until that doesn't work. So here we go. I give you, and you say, why do you give me this whole entire history? Well, I'm giving you the whole history because there's a company in California that has come up with a product called the Alternative. And it is a device that you put on a live firearm to make it not a lethal force instrument, kind of. And they've got a video out there. Jared's going to play the video for you right now. And it's a kind of a promo video for this alternative. This is their promo that they're using to pimp the product.
Okay. If you want to do that, here's the deal. You can go refill your vegetables now. Let me talk to the kids at home. Yeah, if you guys want to listen to the whole episode, and just in case you missed it, it is Student of the Gun Radio episode number 118, and it's titled The Alternative. Are you freaking kidding me, or something like that? No. But it is in the archives. You can go back, go to studentofthegunradio.com. Let me see. You're not going to find it here. Listen up, hippies. Don't go to your iTunes or your Stitcher feed or your podcast gallery or whatever and look for it, because it's not going to be there, because those devices only keep the last 50 episodes or last 50 entries or whatever it is. So if you want to listen to that, you actually need to go to studentofthegunradio.com. But it's worth a listen. So this story comes to us from thestar.com. And the title of the story is Toronto Police Exploring, quote, clown guns for officers. I have a hard time arguing that point. Less than lethal weapons option include a bullet slowing device known as, quote, clown gun. I don't think the Alternative company is promoting that terminology for their product, the clown gun, but whatever. With the ongoing controversy about officers shooting unarmed people, the Toronto Police Service is exploring whether a new device known as a clown gun could be a viable alternative to lethal force. And this is a story by Betsy Powell from the City Hall Bureau of the Star in Toronto. This spring, a coroner's inquest jury in Toronto recommended that the police service, quote, continue to explore new technologies in the area of less than lethal use of force options. The jury was examining the circumstances around the death of Donald Percival Thompson, a 45-year-old man. Dudes. Sometimes I got to gather myself for this crap. A 45-year-old man fatally shot by police while brandishing a machete on April 26, 2013.
Machetes, they don't constitute deadly force. I don't understand what you're saying.
This is, oh, wow. I want to continue with this story, but first I'm going to have to go ahead and put a pin in that and say, a coroner's inquest jury recommended, listen up, you Canadian idiots. You freaking clowns. If someone attacks you with a machete, that person needs to be shot. Are you not? What part of that don't you get? I got a question for you. Coroner's inquest jury. Where are you guys meeting? You're meeting in the coroner's inquest jury room? All right, cool. I'm going to send a person who looks a lot like me, let's say 6'1", 220 pounds, and I'm going to go ahead and allow that person to pick whichever machete they would like out of the Cold Steel catalog and walk into the coroner's jury inquest chambers, and I'm going to say, go. And I want to see, just, as a matter of exploring new technologies and doing some research, how much damage the person with the machete can do in, let's say 30 seconds. We'll set the clock at 30 seconds and see how much damage the person with the machete can do to people who are not armed. Go. Beep. Well, that's not fair, Paul. I mean, what kind of a comparison is that? The police, they have all kinds of stuff and junk and, These kind of people are so weak and stupid. And, I understand that there are going to be weak and stupid people in the world. I understand that. I understand that, they're always going to be around. Don't listen to them. Don't take their advice. What is their advice based upon? I watch a lot of TV and movies, and I consider myself to be a reasonable person. I want someone to raise their hand. Hey, Betsy. Betsy Powell of the City Hall Bureau of the Star. You probably claim to be a journalist. I want you to raise your hand at the next coroner's inquest jury and say, how exactly is a 45-year-old man brandishing a machete not a lethal force threat? Is brandishing machete, when did that become not lethal force? How about a hammer or a hatchet? Is that lethal force, or is it, different levels? Here we go. So the alternative, blah blah blah. We already talked about it. This is like an idiot device. You stick it on you carry it around in your belt, according to the video. And right when you're making that life or death decision, you need to stop, draw your pistol, pull out this alternative device thingamabobber, stick it on top of your pistol, then shoot one round, because the big clown nose dealio captures the bullet, and the pressure or the force of the bullet launches the clown nose downrange. And you say to yourself, okay, so this is like a big giant ball of like cast aluminum? Yeah, pretty much. So instead of shooting the guy with a bullet, I'm going to shoot him with like an 1.5-inch diameter aluminum ball that's going about what? 500 feet per second? I mean, a 9mm bullet is going 1,100 feet per second, 11, 12, whatever, depends on what you've got there. So let's say it slows it down by half. So I'm going to take a 2 ounce or 1 or 2 ounce, I don't know how much this stupid thing weighs, let's just say 1 ounce, a 1 ounce aluminum ball, and I'm going to shoot it into your chest at 500 feet per second. Go. Owie! But that's good for the first one. What if the officer double taps like he's been trained to do, or shoots 1, 2, 3? Well, no, they won't do that. They won't revert to shooting 1, 2 or 1, 2, 3. They'll just fire one round, take their finger out of the trigger, and reassess. Really? Is that what they're going to do? Why are they shooting this thing into the person? Well, there may be an alternative. Just like, stop. Putting a bright orange clown nose on a pistol doesn't make the pistol not a deadly force instrument. It's still a deadly force instrument. If you point it at someone, you're threatening them with deadly force. This is like one of the stupidest ideas on planet Earth. And the person who designed it should be brought up on criminal negligence charges, or at very least slapped in the face with a cold fish. I'm just saying. All right, here we go. So we'll get away from the why it is and Oh, here we go. But now just the dock, the part of oh no, we don't care about that. Staff Sergeant John Stockfish. Okay, I didn't even read his name when I said slap somebody with a cold fish. That is just a total coincidence. Head of the use of force training for the service, and that's for the Toronto Police, told the inquest in April that he'd scheduled a meeting with the manufacturer of the so-called clown gun. I don't know who called it that, but I think it's funny. With a view towards evaluating its merits. Dude, I'm sorry, Staff Sergeant John Stockfish. If you didn't look at this and say, that's the stupidest freaking idea I've ever seen in my life, you people are idiots, go away. Any professional police officer who looks at this and says, maybe we should explore the possibility of this, is a dangerous, dangerous public servant, because apparently they didn't go to school and they didn't learn all about like deadly force and less than lethal and what constitutes which. Folks, there's already a ton of less than lethal force alternatives that don't include putting a stupid clown nose on your pistol. Apparently, they're not aware of those up there in Toronto. They had these things that they invented a long, long time ago. They're called hickory sticks. Like these, they're about 3 feet long. They're made of hickory wood, and you hit people with them, and they stop misbehaving. We figured that out about, I don't know, several thousand years ago. Oh, dude. According to the Police Week Board, blah, blah, blah. The Civilian Oversight Board meets on Thursday. Oh, well, there you go. Is we don't want to talk about items before they are tabled at the board, TPS spokeswoman Megan Gray wrote in an email. Derpa, stupid, more stupidness. And here we go. Now, this is where it gets interesting, at least to me. It says the alternative was embraced by the former police chief, but he was fired. And this is talking about Ferguson and yada, yada, yada. Now, this is what makes me sad. Makes me kind of a sad panda. The Granville, Ohio Police Department will soon be the first department to deploy it. They have 22 police officers, and the chief there is very excited about protecting citizens and their officers. I'm a sad panda. I really am. That makes me sad. That makes me sad that the chief of police in Granville, Ohio, saw this thing and thought, man, that's a great idea. We should buy those. No, it's not a great idea, and you need to go back to school. Maybe you should go to the association, blah, 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 tasers, beanbag rounds, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and it says, we support all less than lethal options as long as they don't compromise officer safety. You mean like requiring an officer to fiddle fart around and do one more, to take one more action or option? Do you idiots have absolutely no concept of what a deadly force encounter, and your microphone's off, isn't it, Hippie? Okay. What a deadly force encounter includes. So, all right, I'm all done talking about that stupidness because it's hurting my brain, and we need to move on to some more important things. And Jared's finishing up his vegetables and water right now. He's funny. All right. Hey, you know what's going to make me happy?
What?
Talk about my friends at Velocity Triggers.
I like Tom. Tom's a good guy.
They're good people.
And his wife.
Yes. VelocityTriggers.com. You got a black rifle, they got a trigger for you. Check those guys out. You can do it right now. You're allowed. I promise. Frog Lube at FrogLube.com. Or you can go to Brownells.com and buy your Frog Lube. It just works. So check those guys out. Or don't. You're an American. Do what you want. I don't care. Century Arms, the makers of the C-39, 100% made in the USA AK. You know what I saw the other day, Jared? It kind of made me go, huh? I saw a story that said first all-American AK to be fielded and reviewed. And they were making a big deal about how Comrade Barry did the whole end around by doing the executive order to prohibit the import of guns from Russia and so forth. And the Americans had to come up with an alternative. So some company just came out with an all-American made AK. And it was going to be fielded and reviewed. And I said to myself, the what? Delta, Alpha, Foxtrot, Uniform, Quebec. That's what I said to myself. And I don't know where these people have been living, but Century Arms has had the C-39. They called it the Centurion, but now they're just calling it the C-39, but Centurion, whatever. 100% made in the USA AK, and it's been available for at least 5 years. But for some reason, they're just flying under the radar. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you what. Check this gun out. If you poo-poo the AK because you got your hands on a stamped receiver, Wasser or something similar, and you're like, oh man, that thing was put together like by a blind mutant in a factory in Czechoslovakia somewhere, and I couldn't get the magazines in it, and blah blah blah. Yeah, I got that. These aren't those. These are machined guns. You're going to want to check them out. SWAT Fuel at SWATfuel.com. Check them out at SWATfuel.com and use the promo code SOTG2015. If you do that when you check out, you're going to save yourself. And I'm going to stop saying check out right now. But you will save yourself 10% off your total order because that is righteous. And that leads us right. We've got some time. Let me see. We got about 20 minutes left in the show or so. I want to make sure that you guys are aware of. Now, the grad program people are aware of the exclusive Student of the Gun grad program Facebook page where they can get together and have their little conversations and talk about stuff. And not all of the grad program people are on it, obviously, but a lot are.
A lot of them are.
Many of them are, and they're very active. You guys are like crazy active, chitter-chattering back and forth with each other and coming up with memes and so forth. What's this picture? It says, Mommy, when I grow up, I want to be a socialist. Well, son, which one is it? You can be both. You can't be both. You can't grow up and be a socialist. I get it. There's the Kermit the Frog thing about the KFC and the UFC. There's a really disturbing trend here, and it's of people defending themselves against home invasions or robberies and then being charged by district attorneys. That is not cool. We've got a situation right now, and I'm going to address this next week. I've decided that I'm going to hit this on Monday's show, and it's disturbing, and it really deserves a full entire episode. But it's a current trend that is going on in not just the mainstream hippie liberal puke face media, but in the gun culture media, where we're trying to equate Oath Keepers with the go to Chipotle and Starbucks open carry activists. Folks, they're not the same, but they're being portrayed as the same, and shamefully, there are people that are in our camp or supposed to be in our camp that are making the moral equivalent. That's kind of like saying we have these moral equivalent people are like, oh, well, you say that Muslims are terrorists and they're bad and stuff like that, but look at the Westboro Baptist people. Yeah, look at the Westboro Baptist people. They're douchebags and they're morons. But last I checked, they weren't putting bombs in schools and cutting people's heads off in the street. The moral equivalency people are lazy, and they're mentally, basically they're dishonest. But we're going to talk about that on Monday.
Did you see what Jason Mays posted 13 minutes ago in the program?
No, hit me to that, Jack.
He said, I don't know if this is true or not, but it's a pretty cool meme. The sign says, "We would rather do business with 1,000 Al-Qaeda terrorists than with one single American soldier."
Oh, yeah, that's at a funeral home.
Yeah, and it was posted at a funeral home. That's pretty awesome.
That's been around for a while. Yeah, that's real.
That's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah. What else is going on here? Lots of cool, fun memes. Oh, I your beloved host, Professor Paul, I shared the A Day in Free America video with our student and grad program members because all of you guys who are following our social media know that we came up. I wasn't thinking that I was creating a Student of the Gun technical vehicle, but we kind of did. We came up with a hitch mount where we could put an RPK, and the RPK is on there. We're going to get to the range. The truth is, as you're hearing this, we made the hitch mount. I fabricated it, painted it, installed it on the truck, and basically just sat there and put the gun on it. We haven't taken it to the range yet, so that is the next step. And I'm sure that Jared might be able to come up with some video for you guys if you're interested. What do you think, Jared? Do you think that that's a doable thing?
Yeah, I think so. I could definitely post it in the grad program.
Unless it doesn't work. Well, the thing is, it's going to work. The question is, will it work as well as we would like it to? That is the big question. Hey, Jared, did you see the Honey Badger lower receiver? Where the Spikes Tactical, they did the Honey Badger lower. It's got a Honey Badger logo on the side, and then the selector thing is like Safe Fire and HB DGAS.
Oh, yeah.
Selector number 3 is Honey Badger DGAS. And since this is the family-friendly hour, and you guys are paying close attention to what I say and how I say it. Also, and for FYI, if you put an A at the end of the word, it makes it okay. It is no longer a bad word if you put an A if you substitute an R for an A, just so you know. The ex-cons statement about anti-police, that is too good to miss. That is awesome. It's all kinds of awesome. But
are we going to play that?
We're going to play it on the grad program because he says bad words. We've got the story where a Georgia man fires an airsoft pistol at a fleeing murder suspect. Somebody killed his neighbor, and he was right there as it had just transpired, and he whipped out an airsoft pistol and fired it at the guy. But I know you're like, what? Did he get away? Yeah, the guy got away. I know. I'm just as shocked as you are to hear that.
The what's underneath the tag these people thing on the notes? Mm-hmm. Are you going to talk about it today or tomorrow? The Oath Keepers thing?
Oh no, that's going to be Monday's show.
Oh, Mondays.
Yeah, we're going to. That is really going to. That subject is going to require
a whole show,
an entire show to discuss it properly. It really is. So that's just a little bit of the goodness that is the Student of the Gun members group on Facebook. I know you guys hate Facebook. We hate Facebook too, but it's kind of like using the enemy's tools against them. They don't like us. We don't like them. But we're able to communicate with each other using that tool. And you're like, yeah, but they'll find out who you are and they'll put your name on a list. Dude, have you purchased a gun? Do you have a concealed carry permit? Are you a registered Republican? Yes to any of those? Okay, you're already on a list. Now, you might want to be on another list, or maybe you don't. I don't know. But if your greatest fear in life is keeping yourself off of a list, that's not really the pathway to liberty. Just saying. Just saying. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the main purpose or the main crux of this particular episode. And the inspiration for this episode came to me from an article that was posted on ammoland.com. And you guys know that a lot of our Student of the Gun material is posted and shared on AmmoLand, and those guys are our friends. And so I was over on AmmoLand, and I was reading the latest updates because they do a daily. They call it the Shooting Sports News Daily. You just sign up for it, and it shows up in your inbox every morning. And you click on it, and it has the top 12 stories. And this is a story by David Limbaugh. Yes, the brother of Rush. And the title is a question. It says, has the unprecedented majority finally reached its boiling point? Now, the photo that they use is from the most recent NRA annual meeting up in Nashville, and it says NRA convention supporters pray, and they always do. They do a prayer breakfast or a prayer meeting at the NRA every year. Dateline USA. I like that. Not Biloxi, not Camden, not but USA. And Limbaugh starts the article out like this. We can acknowledge that Donald Trump's popularity is partially related to his unapologetic defense of himself and his policies. But let's examine why that is particularly appealing to his supporters and others. How did we get to this point? Grassroots conservatives believe that their policies can make America great again, that they can make Americans more secure and prosperous. Many of them still believe in traditional values, which are now in disrepute. They are appalled at the systematic assault on their ideas in our public schools, our universities, the media, and in Hollywood. They are horrified by the attack on their liberties, but they have not surrendered. They see America disintegrating rapidly and little being done to stop it. They detect no sense of urgency from their elected officials. Amen, David. And they wonder whether they are living in an alternative universe. I think David Limbaugh may not be a student of the gun. He may not know that he is, but he is. He is one whether he knows it or not. Can I get an amen, brothers and sisters? Thank you. It's true that the Republicans don't control the executive branch, but there's no excuse for always caving and giving sissified overtures to bipartisanship to an implaceable bully president. And this is in bold italics. President Obama is a lawless renegade, flouting the Constitution and the rule of law and mocking his opponents as if they were the ones who are overreaching. But too often, Republicans sit on their hands, refusing to exercise their powers to stop him. Some even join in Obama's condemnation of the brave souls on our side who are trying to stop him. Okay. And I'm not going to read you the entire article. We're going to put it in there. But this is what we're getting from this article. And what David wants to know is the grassroots ready? And I'm going to read you the last paragraph of this article. I hope we can look back in a few years and say that Obama miscalculated, that he pushed too far, too fast, instead of allowing liberalism to continue to grow incrementally. I pray that his arrogance in impatiently accelerating statism is what will finally bring the unprecedented majority to a boil, unrepresented majority to a boil, leading to a dramatic reversal of his fundamental transformation of America. And that leads me to the point of this particular episode. This has been a very difficult decade for us. We had the attacks on the United States, and you would have thought that in September of 2001, yeah, we're 14 years into this adventure now, that we woke up, realized that there was a threat to liberty, to the preservation of Western, culture, and that we would fight it and defeat it and destroy it, just like we did in World War II and World War I and all the previous conflicts that we, got together as a nation, found our solidarity, defeated the enemy, moved on with our lives. But that's not the case, and you and I both know it. Would you have thought in September or October of 2001 that 12 years later or 8 years later that we would have a socialist community organizer who hates the United States of America as our president? He doesn't hate America. Shut up. Yes, he does. The only thing he likes about America is the free crap that he can get from you idiots who continue to funnel your money into him. What do you want me to do? Not pay taxes? Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. The only thing that the Comrade Barry Hussein family likes about America is the stuff that they can take from the taxpayers. That's what they like about America. They like the stuff that they can take. They like the vacations and the money and the power. But they don't like the United States of America as it was founded. And they've set out to destroy it. And I know all your reasonable neighbors. No, there's no one who lives in the United States that would deliberately destroy the United States. Yeah, no one would, except that they are. And liberalism and statism and progressivism, whatever you want to call it, it's been ongoing for a long time. It's been ongoing for my entire lifetime. People like Rush Limbaugh and all those who came after him have been pointing it out. Michael Savage with his fantastic quote, "Liberalism is a mental disease," or a mental disorder. Does he say disorder or disease? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. The point is, it's been there. We've had these left-wing liberal weenies, and they've always kind of been that annoying fly buzzing around. But we always felt like we could just shoo them away. Go away, filthy hippie! I don't need to hear from you. Well, those people have been emboldened. Their guy is in charge, and their guy has decided that this slow boat to total statism is not going to get it done. We need to get off the slow boat to total statism, and we need to get on the bullet train to total statism. We discuss this on the show continuously, but in my lifetime, and in yours as well, especially if you're a little longer in the tooth like I am, we've always known that it was there, but we didn't have to deal with it on a daily basis or a weekly basis or even a monthly basis. When 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when you had this weird leftist hippie culture crap, you had it a little bit at a time. Now today, it's every day we're having to deal with it. Border crisis, terrorism, this gender identity upside down lunacy that we've got in America. Oh, we're not just gonna burn the American flag anymore. We're gonna desecrate it. We're gonna put it on the ground. We're gonna wipe our butts with it. We're gonna call it free speech, and you have to do it. The major cities in the United States, if they're not burning right now, they're set to. They're crumbling. And it's all going on at the same time. And I believe what Mr. Limbaugh, David Limbaugh, is trying to point out right here is, are they reaching too far too fast? All these, 100% unconstitutional, illegal executive orders that nobody has the guts to stand up against. Is it too much too fast? Are the people of the United States, the productive people, the ones who actually still get up and work and contribute to society? I'm not talking about the leeches. I'm talking about the contributors. Are they fed up? And are they finally going to fight back? And my question is, are they ready to fight back? Jared, is your microphone on? Because I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you believe that we've done enough to enable and assist our audience when the catalyst sparks to fight back?
Yeah, I think so. We've put tons of information out there. You've written tons of books. You've written tons of articles. We have 229 episodes of Student the Gun Radio.
Folks, when I say fight back, I don't mean run to the gun store and buy a black rifle and a can of ammo and store it under your bed. That's not what I mean by fighting back. You need more than just hardware to fight back. Buying stuff, that's not fighting. Buying stuff and burying it in your backyard in plastic bags or whatever, that's not fighting. Too often, the people on our culture, you have to have material goods. We have to have food to eat. We have to have water to drink. We have to have shelter. We have to have all that stuff. I understand that you have to have the material. But what I see in our gun culture, our Second Amendment culture, our pro-Constitution culture, whatever, is I see people and they focus all on the buying of the stuff.
Because if they have a better gun, it'll make them shoot better, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Well, have you taken any training? No, but I'm gonna buy an ACOG for my rifle. Okay. Does the ACOG make your rifle shoot better? Oh yeah, you don't understand, man. That's the best thing Marines carried. It's like, yeah, I get that. Does the ACOG hold the gun still and press the trigger? Well, no, but I know what I'm doing. Folks, it's an investment, And this is why we have, and I'm going to get into it in great detail on Monday, but the issue that we have with the open carry nonsense and the gun culture people, or the wannabe gun culture people, because quite frankly, we've got a lot of carpetbaggers, a lot of gun culture carpetbaggers that just in the last few years have jumped on board. Ooh, I'm a gun guy, I'm a gun girl, I'm a gun owner, I'm a blah, blah, blah. Where the hell were you 10 years ago? But it's all of a sudden cool. It's all of a sudden all the cool kids are doing it. So these carpetbaggers have jumped in. And they've jumped in looking like idiots. And so they, paint the rest of us with the idiot brush. But what I want to say, and the reason this is happening, the reason that they're painting us with the idiot brush, is because they don't have the education, they don't have the experience, they don't have the guidance, they haven't been taught, they don't want to learn, apparently, I don't know, but they think that because they went to a store and bought something, that now they're ready. I'm all ready. I went to the store and I bought this. Oh, man, it's good. And the dude behind the counter told me that if I bought this accessory and this other one and bolted it onto this gun, that it would be super cool, ninja deadly. All right. That's not, that ain't it. That's only part of it, dudes. That's like a guy showing up on a job at a construction company. And they say, tell us your qualifications. And he's like, I just stopped at Home Depot and I bought this $15 hammer. And I've got it. It's mine. Look at it. And the construction or the construction supervisor looks at you and says, "Okay, congratulations, you own a hammer now." How exactly does that help you build a house? Well, I got this hammer, man. You build houses with hammers, don't you? Look at this hammer. Okay, now what? And that's where we are as a gun culture. Everybody ran out and bought a brand new claw hammer. But they have no idea how to even drive the first nail, how to frame. I know I'm throwing out like carpenter lingo. Tell me, you're going to build a house? You're qualified to build a house because you went to Home Depot or Lowe's. Screw Home Depot. You went to Lowe's and you bought a claw hammer. Yeah. Is that not the same mentality that a lot of our culture has? They ran to their favorite gun shop and they threw down their credit card and they bought a gun. And they're like, woohoo, I'm a Second Amendment supporter. Look at what I have. I have this thing.
But I watched a video on YouTube on how to frame a house.
Oh, well, crap.
So obviously I'm good to go.
Now, hang on. Don't knock that. You might learn something. Folks, that's where we're at. We think that because we bought an object that we're ready to fight back. Is that really the case? I mean, sure, if you give a guy like a bucket full of nails and a pile of lumber and a hammer, he probably could build something.
I could do some damage.
He could do some damage. I mean, I don't know if you'd want to live in that house, but it might be there. He could hammer some boards together, and you're like, yeah, that's really nice. We're going to put that on the refrigerator so everyone can see it. Are you ready to be an American patriot? Are you ready to support the representative republic that is the United States of America? Are you ready to fight back effectively and efficiently and right the ship? What do you need for that? You need a solid foundation. You need to read, you need to study, you need to train. If you haven't done those things, if you have done those things, rock on, you're on your way. But if you haven't, if you're spending all of your money on crap to strap onto your gun and none on training, none on education, then I'm telling you what, you're missing out. Are you trying to do it all yourself? Well, no, not really. No, seriously, are you trying to save the world all by yourself? Are you that one guy who's like, stop trying to do it all yourself? You can't. Let me tell you what, brothers and sisters, if you think you can do it all by yourself, if your plan is just to hide in your house until the Gestapo comes to beat down your door and then you're going to fight back, you're not going to win. You're going to lose, and you're going to be portrayed as a nut job, okay? You need to reach out to like-minded individuals. You need to work with other people. Well, I've got a job, and I got kids, and I got a family, and I got all this stuff. Okay, what is your country worth? Is your nation worth the preparation? Is the nation of the United States of America, the representative republic that was founded 200 plus years ago, is it worth the effort in citizenship? Because citizenship means you. It doesn't mean Washington, D.C. It doesn't mean your state capital. No, it means you. It 100% is going to require your effort. And I don't care if you're a carpenter, if you're an accountant, if you're an attorney, if you're a registered nurse. I don't care what it is you do. Are you a citizen of the United States, and do you believe in limited government, a representative republic, individual liberty? Do you believe in those things or not? Because if you don't, rock on, drive, go away, do your thing. But if you believe in individual responsibility, in liberty, not just freedom. Freedom is a generic term when people throw that out there like democracy. We're in a democracy. No, we're not, moron. We're not in a democracy. How can democracy survive? It can't, because democracy itself is flawed. Are you prepared? Are you ready to fight back? And if all you've done is bought something and stored it in your closet and then just moved on with your life, I'm going to say you're probably not ready. You need to do more. How can you do more? What do we have available? Jared, tell them. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff that's available for free to inspire you. Patriot Fire Team.
Yeah, we've got Patriot Fire Team. We've got the new 7 training tips that Dad did for you guys. Go to studentofthegun.com, put in your email address, and you'll get the first one immediately, and then the other ones will follow. We've got tons of stuff. We got a training class coming up in Michigan. I know a lot of you that are listening right now are near Michigan, and I haven't seen any of those names pop up in the class. So shame on you.
We're closing. We're going to be closing enrollment.
Yeah.
Enrollment will close on September 1st for the Marquette class. So if you want to get in it, you need to get in it by September 1st because enrollment will be closing on September 1st. So PatriotFireteam.com. You go there, the list. People want to know the recommended reading list. Is that not on Patriot Fire Team?
It is, yes.
Okay.
It's there. You have to put in your email address, and then it's actually in. We give you the free how-to guide. It's actually embedded inside the how-to guide. So you actually have to read it.
You have to read? You mean I actually have to do something?
Our dude on the grad program group, he fixed himself, and he signed up, so he should be good to go now.
Good job. Good job, guys. PatriotFireteam.com.
Speaking of
the
which,
mobile app has the one-box workout on it. That's super simple.
Yep. Speaking of the Patriot Fire Team, as we record this, we just had our buddy Jason ordered a shirt from StudentOfTheGunGear.com.
Oh, which Jason?
Jason, that he owns he runs all the Patriot groups and the combat culinary and all that.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, thank you.
He's
good job, dude.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Now you can run around out screaming.
Yeah, I enjoy those. I enjoy the conversation on those. I've been posting some of the stuff from my weight cutting in the culinary group, and some people have some pretty good advice. I was looking for sodium-free seasonings because this whole plain chicken thing sucks.
And you don't want to retain all that water by
Yeah.
putting in a bunch of sodium. Yeah, I got you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's really about it. Thank you to David Limbaugh for putting that up on that article on AmmoLand.com. Like I said, we linked it in the Student of the Gun Radio show notes, so you can go to AmmoLand and read the entire thing yourself. Go back and re-listen to episode 118 if you haven't. It's there. It's on Student of the Gun Radio. And if you have not gone to the studentofthegun.com lately and signed up, if you're not signed up for the broadcast, I don't know why, but do it. You're going to get those 7 training videos. They're going to trickle out one at a time, one per week, and you can watch them. They're not long, just real short, simple, to the point, which is what we try to do here. Now, this is Thursday, and being Thursday, this is the last public broadcast hour of the week. I know the music's going to play, and you're going to get sad. But if you're a grad program member, rock on, because we're going to be back tomorrow with a special big boy, big girl edition of Student of the Gun Radio. And you know what? By the time this point rolls around in the week, I really need a grad program segment so I can just blow off the steam.
Yep.
So I don't have to censor myself and put A's, substitute the R for an A so it can be family friendly. For those of you that are not grad program members, we will talk to you next week. And cat in a hat, and that be that. Remember, you're a beginner once, but a student for life.